Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview Sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Vash Tomanec. Vash went from delivering Uber Eats to a 7-figure business in less than 3 years, is a 25-year-old 7-figure entrepreneur. He shares the frameworks and principles that have helped thousands of entrepreneurs from 35 different countries grow their businesses and live more fulfilled lives by mastering their mindset. Vash, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Seth, for having me.
Well, let's go back in time just a little bit. Let's talk about what inspires you to start a business while you were delivering for Uber Eats, what that business was, and how the heck you got so successful.
100%. So I come from the Czech Republic, small country in Europe. So I've never been exposed to entrepreneurship. So I didn't even know that's a possibility for me. But when I was 18, I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which opened my eyes to what's possible. And I started to have the dream of being an entrepreneur. But I just thought I need to have this big idea, big capital to start next Apple, next Tesla, something big. But of course, I didn't have the idea nor the capital. And as I started going through kind of university school, I realized, man, I really want to make this work. I can't just postpone it. So I realized what's the best business to start with no experience and no capital, which would be service-based. So I had some experience in marketing. So I decided to launch marketing agency. So I basically employ people who are experts at Facebook ads. And I have clients in United States and Canada who we run marketing for. And that's basically how it all started. So it was just nothing innovative. It was just, I wanted to have my own business and I wanted a way that doesn't need much capital.
All right. So that's how you started in terms of the original digital marketing agency. You have now founded a whole bunch of different successful companies. Talk a little bit about the evolution.
Yeah. So as I started to have pretty fast success, especially financially with the first business, people started reaching out to me. They was like, can you coach me? How come you did it so fast? So I was like, okay. I started to having one-on-ones with people. And I realized, Seth, that I wasn't teaching them much of the tactics, like how to hire, how to reach people, how to sell. I was teaching them more of the mindset, how to overcome fears, how to set goals, how to be less stressed out, all of these things. And these guys started to have bigger and bigger success. So that's how the second company started as a basically answer to people's problems, which was a company called Mindtrepreneur, where we now coach over 1,000 entrepreneurs. And then I started software company because in the marketing agency, we started to have kind of troubles with data and measuring it properly. So I started the third business, which is called EcomTrack, that just a few weeks ago was sold. So that was my first successful exit.
Well, congratulations on that. I believe at one point you went on a 7-day meditation retreat where you were in complete darkness, pitch black the entire time.
Exactly. So I am a big believer in going within. I believe that today people don't have time to think because they jump from email to LinkedIn to Slack to all these different platforms that they never find time to really think about what they want and if they are doing it the way that is most effective. So I decided to do something what's called 7 Days Darkness Retreat, where basically you're in a room where you can't see anything. And basically I had time to 7 days to think, and I had so many breakthroughs. I changed direction in my life. And yeah, I would say I go in much better direction because I took the time off.
How did your relationship with Dr. Joe Dispenza come about?
Yeah, so that was, we could say, first mentor when I started was Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's quite big, especially in the United States. And as I started kind of using his work and got a lot of results, I started to kind of get also once on stage with him, which was super fun. And yeah, I just love what he's teaching, especially similar to me, that a lot of the things are within and people just don't have time to meditate or spend time with themselves to really find the answers that they are looking for.
What inspired you to launch the Mindtrepreneur podcast?
Yeah, so again, I realized there's a lot of kind of podcasts that are very generic. So we wanted to go deep, and we had with my business partner that we have Mindtrepreneur together, we had these weekly calls where we would go deep on certain topics, and we just realized, why not record it? Because we are going so deep, we are coaching each other basically. Let's just record it. More people would need to hear this, and that's how it started. So we already had this podcast, just nobody saw it, and then we decided to record each conversation with my business partner.
That's awesome. What are some of the biggest mistakes you think we're making as entrepreneurs with our mindset?
Yeah, so I believe first one is a lot of entrepreneurs don't really know specifically what they want. They might say, I want to grow the business. What does it even mean? And a lot of entrepreneurs are so not specific that they might hit their financial goals, which most entrepreneurs focus on, but they are not very specific about the number of hours they're working. They are not very specific about the way the business is run. So when I started getting momentum, my vision number 2 was I'm making $50,000 a month profit while working only an hour a day. And because I was so specific, I could start hiring people. I could start optimizing the business. So eventually it can get to the point where it would make these numbers while I could work only those hours. So I believe a lot of entrepreneurs are just not specific what they want. Then they get the financial goal, but they're stressed out, they're burned out, they don't have any free time for their families or whatever it is. So I would say that's the number one mistake most entrepreneurs make. And second, as I mentioned, is a lot of entrepreneurs just go, never stop and evaluate. So I recommend people to have at least 1 hour a week of think time. That's how I call it, where just for 1 hour, whiteboard or pen and paper, and you just brainstorm, like, if the direction you're now heading, if it's the right direction, if you could do things differently, if you could do things better.
That makes a lot of sense. What are some of the biggest adversities you've had to overcome, and what did you learn from that process?
Yeah, 100%. First one was fear. I had a lot of fears when I started. Fear of rejection was big. Another was English is not my first language, so fear of my English not being good enough, then a lot of what other people think of me. So I believe a lot of these fears were holding me back. And what I truly learned, that basically it was all in my head, that, okay, if I get no, nobody is going to die. If there's some random person thinks I'm douchebag, okay, that's down to him, not down to me. So almost like I started to realize how I was giving importance to things that are not important. And because I was investing so much of my energy into the fears, I didn't have enough energy to invest it in my dreams. So I started to kind of shift the focus, start focusing on my dreams. And I only care about what people that I love think of me. The other people, if I inspire them, amazing. If they think something else, that's not my responsibility.
You've built not one, not two, but at least 3 businesses to 7 figures. What do you think are some of the common elements that made them all successful?
Yes. So I call it 6-step framework. First, I identify a problem. A lot of people create products that nobody really needs or they don't solve any problem. So it needs to be a problem that everybody is desperately wanting to resolve, or at least the target audience. So that was first ingredient to success. Second, I truly understood who is the ideal customer. Even though your products could cater many people, there's definitely only small segment that can generate you the most revenue. So I focused specifically on the ideal customer, and I understood their desires, their fears. I spent a lot of time researching the ideal customer. Then third step is I develop beta version. I never develop the software or a whole coaching program and then started selling. I sell before I was ready. So I sold beta version. I sold program that wasn't ready yet, just to validate my offer, to validate if the product people want, so I don't spend years investing money, energy, time into something that doesn't make any sense or nobody wants to buy. And then basically I started to hire key people to the key positions. A lot of business owners believe nobody can do it better than themselves, which is the most limiting belief, especially if they want to scale at a rapid pace. So I started to hire people who are better than me. So I immediately hired people there. And as a result, we started to grow faster. And last principle was even when I was making $50,000 a month, I was still living with my parents because I was putting everything back in my business or myself through coaching, because I truly believe that I could use money to make more money. And a lot of people cash out too soon, and then they lose the momentum, and they kind of miss out on the opportunity to 10x the business.
You are in a number of different industries. How do you stay on top of everything going on in multiple verticals?
Yeah, so again, first one would be I have key people. And second is I'm very careful about my focus. So from 7 a.m. till lunch, nobody can reach me except of my family or my right-hand man, Andy. And if he's not calling me, I know there are no fires that I need to deal with. So from 7 to 12, I focus deeply on just one business, because I know I can't focus 1 hour there, 1 hour there, 1 hour there. That will be inefficient. So I have 5 hours spent, let's say, on business A, developing new strategy. And because I'm protecting my focus so much, no notifications, no distractions, no phone calls, I believe in those 5 hours, I can produce more than most people in a whole week, because so many people nowadays are so distracted with notifications. So I'm very protective of my focus, because I believe that's my superpower. And that's what allows me to run 3 businesses at the same time.
What do you think you've achieved so much success. What do you think your biggest challenge is right now?
Yeah, so
it's certainly not focus.
Yeah, so basically for me now, again, it's always coming back to simplifying things, because in many of my businesses, we started to use new methods to acquire new customers, which is great, but we found out that still 80% of our customers come from one method or one marketing vehicle, we could say. And so again, rather than dividing our focus into 6 different avenues, we decided to double down on one, supported with email. And that's again allowed us to be really, really best at the one method, and at the same time really allow us to focus on we are the best at, which is delivering the service. So that was kind of a, I would say, challenge, or something we've been working on a lot, was simplifying the process again to really focus on only the things that producing the best outcomes.
That makes a lot of sense. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
What do I love about most is really when people message me that my message, my coaching impacted them, because I believe there are so many entrepreneurs who are winning in one area of their life but losing in the others. Because to me, success is not you have a lot of money in the bank or successful business, but also you have great health, you have great relationships. And that's something that I love. When somebody tells me, Vash, I made so much money, I'm happy and I'm in great shape. If somebody messages me that, I just know this person is winning, and I know that my message, my effort had some meaning.
That's beautiful. Who do you follow? Who do you learn from? Who do you look up to?
Yeah, so I'm very careful who I listen, because there's so many people who could listen, and I believe in mastery. So rather listening few people that truly have something that I value. And these two people that I still follow last 3 years is Tony Robbins and Joe Dispenza, because these two guys, to me, they've been in the game for 40 years. Again, I don't see inside, but they seem to me extremely fulfilled, having extreme impact, doing very well financially, health-wise. So that's why these people love, and that's still, I would call them my mentors still today.
That's awesome. For our folks who are watching or listening who want to learn more about all things Vash, where is the best place for them to go to learn more about you, the podcast, and all the companies?
Yeah, so the best place would be either Instagram or LinkedIn, which is where I'm as VASH, Vash_Tomanec, Tomanec. And if you want to find out more about my companies, just go to mindtrepreneur.com. And yeah, that's where you can shoot me a message or any questions you might have.
All right. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. This has been Seth Greene with Vash Tomanec for Sharkpreneur. Thank you all for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com.